Airtime for this program is paid for by the Yavapai County Contractors Association, and they are solely responsible for its content.
On AM 1130, 99.9 FM, Prescott, Chino Valley, and Paulden, 95.5 FM, Prescott Valley and Cottonwood, the talk of the Quad Cities, KQNA. It's
Hammer Time.
Waking Up with the YCCA. Hammer Time is brought to you by Lawhorn Plumbing, Arizona Modern Landscapes, JT's Septic, Granite Basin Roofing, Blind Brothers Arizona, Elan Electric, Manzanita Landscaping, Crosby Home Services, RED Plumbing, Eric & Sons, and Yavapai Block. And now from the studios of KQNA, it's Hammer Time, Waking Up with the YCCA. Here's the Executive Director of the Yavapai County Contractors Association, Sandy Griffiths.
Hey everybody, good morning to you. Good morning to you. We wish you a Merry May. Good morning to you.
Yay!
Yay!
I wasn't quite sure where you were going with
I
that.
wasn't quite sure either, Mr. Mike Enders, Tree Custom Homes.
Is that the epitome of the word or the phrase called ad-libbing it?
Yes, we did
Very good.
ad-lib it. So thanks to all of our listeners this morning. Tune in to Hammer Time. We are here for you. We've got a great show. Our show last weekend with Mr. Michael McCartney of Metal Clad Electrical was amazing.
It was.
The guy is so bright, gave a lot of good hints. Don't mix the green wire with the white wire.
At least not when it's hooked up.
At least not when it's hooked up. Keep your fingers out of the sockets.
It does my heart good, as they say, to be able to bring our listening audience all sorts of information.
Oh, I know.
Like that, and including today, we've got another great show.
We do. So all is good. What's happening with you? Don't use the word busy.
Inundated? No, I'm not really inundated.
Okay, no, okay.
No,
let's see if you're going to ad lib.
I'm pleasantly. Oh gosh, that's hard not to say the word.
I know. You're pleasantly and sufficiently
Ensconced in work.
ensconced in work.
How's that?
That's beautiful. I love it. I love it.
That's just a step below busy.
Don't say that word. Okay, man, no rain. We've got to be very careful and conscientious of fire season.
We do indeed.
Oh, scary.
Last weekend, did you get much wind?
There was lots of wind, but not a drop of rain.
Because I scooted out and went north, but it was nice until Saturday afternoon. Lots of wind.
Yes.
Again, no rain. Have that stuff called virga. That looks like rain, that never really hits the ground.
Correct.
So yes,
let's just
we're in
hope.
need.
We are in need. All is good. We've had some good meetings in the communities. Every day is different.
It is. But I hope that people do heed your advice. We really, really need to be aware of fire danger.
Absolutely. So listeners, if you want to know how to clear your yards, the 5-foot range, the 30-foot range, the 20-foot range, please call me because YCCA has some great free Fire Smart landscaping handouts for you.
Perfect.
You need to be careful and know what those home ignition zones are. And 0 to 5 feet, 5 feet to 30 feet, and 30 feet to 100 feet. So pay attention.
Perfect.
I think everything is good. I have a very funny joke to tell. We'll see what our guest thinks about it when we come back from our break.
So I have a personal question to ask you.
Okay.
Have you been able to get any sleep now that the home show has passed?
Oh, my gosh, like a baby. But I slept when the home show was happening.
I don't know how you pull it off. That's just a super, super effort on your part, and it showed because I'm still getting comments from not only vendors that participated, but also people that attended.
I'm getting those phone calls too. Sandy, we were at the home show. I lost the card and I need the vendor that does XYZ.
Right.
Okay, so they were down row X. They were in booth 121. Here's their phone number. I just, putting that home show on for the community it's big. It's important.
It is. And not only can you gauge how important it is? Because you see a lot, not all, but you see a lot of the same people coming back year after year to get information.
Yep.
But you see a lot of new faces, and you can just see the light bulbs going off about, oh, gosh, I wanted to look at something like that. So.
Yes. Oh, we have to take a break. We were just jibber-jabbering way too long.
I guess we were.
Oh, mercy. Take us to break, please.
It's my pleasure.
Fast.
You're listening to Hammer Time, brought to you by Yavapai County Contractors Association, and we're airing on Talk of the Quad Cities, KQNA 1130 AM, 99.9 FM, and in Cottonwood and Prescott Valley, 95.5 FM. So please stay tuned for some great messages from our ever so valuable sponsors. Fill up that cup of cocoa. No, not cocoa. Hot chocolate.
No, it's way too hot for hot chocolate.
Iced tea.
Lemonade.
And iced coffee.
Okay, I could go with that.
Work.
That'll work.
But for sure, don't turn that dial because we'll be right back.
You're listening to Hammer Time, waking up with the YCCA, a presentation of the Yavapai County Contractors Association. Once again, here's your host, Sandy Griffiths.
Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to Hammer Time, brought to you by YCCA. My wingman, Mr. Mike Enders, Bent Tree Custom Homes, and our guest with us for the Hour of Power, Mr. Tad Bryant. He is owner of Broken Arrow Drafting and Design.
Correct.
Tad, my friend, how do you do?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm good. Thanks for being with us this morning. Now, Tad is in our new Building Yavapai magazine because he is one of our visionaries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You are. You know you're a visionary,
I'm
right?
glad you call me that.
It's how you define your project from the ground up. How do you visualize it? So that's why we call you a visionary.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, and with, I don't know. I really love what I do, so, and everyone has a different vision. I'm just able to help them bring it to life.
So how do you do that? Did you come out of the womb as a visionary, or did you grow into it?
No, honestly, it's something I was always kind of intrigued in, the architecture aspect and kind of designing and building, and I actually went to school for agriculture.
Like to take care of cows?
Yeah.
And chickens?
Well, I grew up on ranches around here. So, like, my family still has a ranch out in Williamson Valley. I went on a rodeo scholarship for calf roping and team roping. And then they paid for my degree, and then I came back and had kids and had to get a real job.
So you became a visionary. So Thomas Edison said that creativity is 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would. I mean, Thomas Edison was a pretty smart man, so I wouldn't argue it.
Okay, perfect. So you draw people's ideas. You take their vision and put it on paper?
Not just any ideas. We prefer to do homes.
Okay, okay. No cattle ranches, no dog houses.
No, so yeah, we do custom homes, barndominiums, a lot of stuff like that. We've been getting more and more into. Just out here, like, everything's custom unless you get, your track home that are kind of pre-approved and ready to go, or so.
So what sparked your passion to be do we call you a drafter or a designer or a visionary? What would you like to be called?
I've been called worse than all three of those, so whatever. What sparked it was when I was in high school, I always worked for companies, whether it was doing dirt work or doing, I worked for a framing crew during the summer sometimes, and I'd always be looking at plans. And I was just always wondering, like, who are these guys that are drawing these house plans? It's just... And then I got intrigued, and then as time went on, I kind of was like, well, I'm getting a little older. Let's start doing something we enjoy in life, and finding something we really like. So
do you drive around, and if you see a house being built, do you and Dana, your wife, slow down, stop, get out of the car, and run in and see what it looks like?
All the time.
You seriously do?
Yeah, all the time. If I see a house that's getting framed up, or, if I can see that they just started drywall, I'm like, well, chances are it's not even sold yet. Let's just go take a little peek and see what they're doing.
And then do you want to like move some of the walls around, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, but then I'm all...
Do you leave little notes on the wall that says this wall should be moved over here?
We leave it alone. So
okay.
And that's like the clash of my household, because Dana, like
yes.
she's about done with her interior design stuff, and that's the field that she's in. So how do I say this? I've noticed she's more about like aesthetics, looks.
Right, color, fluffiness, pillows.
Exactly.
Yes.
And like, and where, what kind of doors or what the trim should look. And I'm more like function.
I was going to say functionality.
So she's all, well, this door would look better here, but it won't work. That's kind of the...
Okay, so you have deep conversations.
I wouldn't say deep. It's just happy wife, happy life. I let her walk out and then change it back.
but I know what you mean, because it's hard not to, especially on a house under construction, to go in and not think, gee, why did they do this? Mm-hmm. And not knowing maybe that was the customer's direction.
All the time.
And maybe it was just an oversight.
All the time. And I have people that come to me and they say, hey, you do this for a living, design our house how you would do it. And I'm like, I got 5 kids. My house is going to look completely different than yours. You're not going to like my house.
And I think sometimes people are hesitant, and you can answer this better than I, but I always tell people, when you're sitting down to go through the design process, take as much stuff with you as possible to give them a better idea what your expectations are. Because, you could draw a house that's 40 feet wide and 80 foot deep, and maybe they want one that's 80 foot wide and 40 foot deep. Right. So the more you can bring to that design process, the better off that individual can help you with it.
Anything helps, where we want door placement, like we're looking for a split, and then like another thing, I have people, we'll get through the design stuff, and then at the last minute, like I'll get, this is what we want the outside to look like. I'm like, well, that's a modern roof. That's not exactly what we were going for at all with my vision. So it's always good, like up front, because a lot of people, they do these vision boards.
Correct.
And usually the wife is the one
that drives it.
Yeah, everything. So like I'll typically listen to the husband and hear what he wants, and then I'll turn to her and say, so what are we doing? What are we doing here?
So what are we really doing? And yes, sir, you do get to make comments on your garage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll put shelves there. So.
That's funny. So do you primarily design what your clients want, or do you sometimes try to sway them and take them down a different path?
I'll typically design what they want up front.
Okay.
And then I'll start telling them what might work better, or what might be more cost effective, or...
Once they see what they want on paper, and then you guide them through your vision of what could be better.
Yeah, because I don't want to like pick their dream apart and just go in to crush them, but I might be like, hey, if we took this space here, the roof would line up better, might help you out there, just kind of point them a little different. And that's what we were talking about earlier. This is where one of those things too, it's always good to have a general contractor involved at the beginning.
Okay.
Whether it's consulting but it is always good for someone to be there as far as making life easy on the build as well as saving money on the back end.
So how does that work for you? Do you always have a GC in the room that's at the table? That seems kind of difficult. Not always, because I found a lot of times we're kind of the front. Right. We're the first step, which is great. But, and more people are wanting to go to the owner build stuff. We're going to save that conversation for when we come back from a break.
It's a long conversation.
That's a very long, detailed, in-depth, serious
let's do that.
conversation about owner-builders. So what challenges do you see, Tad, bringing your vision to life?
The biggest challenge now, I think, is that we kind of live in a microwave society, and everybody wants something now, and they don't realize the process of how long it's going to take to design the house, as well as the reality of getting it through the municipality.
I like that term, a microwave society.
That's a very good description.
I love that, Tad.
They want it now.
They want it now. Turn the microwave on. We want it now.
Yeah, you had 3 days to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, that's
Why can't you
awesome.
come up with a full set of plans?
I know. So, listeners, we have to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about owner-builder. And here's a question for you guys. What state is known for its small drinks?
For small drinks.
Gregory, do not tell him because I'm sure you know the answer. Small drinks. What state? Okay, I've stumped them, listeners. They are stymied.
Really stumped me.
Minnesota.
Very good. Very good.
Listeners, we'll be right back. Don't move.
You're listening to Hammer Time, waking up with the YCCA, a presentation of the Yavapai County Contractors Association. Once again, here's your host, Sandy Griffiths.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Hammer Time. If you just tuned in, you're late, or you need to go back to bed. You got up and you're tired and you want to go back to bed. You can catch a replay tomorrow morning, Sunday, same time, same great stations.
But what if they're listening to this on Sunday and they were late to the game?
Then they can go to YouTube or Spotify and listen to their little heart's content.
Perfect.
Okay, so before we went on break, Tad brought up a great idea. Well, not an idea, a very serious conversation about being an owner-builder. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's a very high-risk endeavor to be owner-builder. What do you think, Mike?
I'm a little biased, but I also think that's a high risk because most, and not all, because some owner-builders absolutely are competent. It may be a retired GC from another state, or maybe somebody that's built 2 or 3 homes before.
Perfect.
So there are always exceptions to the rule. But if it's a first-time builder, so to speak, and they want to be an owner-builder, they are most likely not aware of the, not only from a city standpoint, the codes, but they're also not really aware of what's out there in the marketplace as far as vendors, concepts, pricing.
Time intensive.
Time intensive.
Yeah,
So I think there's a lot of things that can be taken advantage of an older builder, whereas if they were working with a general contractor, that's part of his job is to protect them from that.
Correct. Tad, what do you think? You're on the soapbox now, buddy.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think there are people out there that are definitely capable. I do think that people get a little over their skis sometimes. I have no horse in the race when it comes to the build or making money on that, but I do like seeing people get a product that they want. And so many times when I started designing, I would design this house and then they'd go and they'd get bids on it and they'd come back to me and say, I can't afford this house. And I'm like, what can you afford? So I always I'm just upfront with my clients. What's our budget?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to be.
Yeah, because then I got a parameter, and then I talk to them consult at a minimum. We you don't want to set yourself up from failure at my stage because it's going to all crash there.
In being owner-builder, there's another misconception out there, you guys, that owner-builders think that they could potentially save some big coin if they're owner-builder, and they don't.
I think that's usually the motivation.
But it's wrong.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's a very wrong motivation.
But I think that's the perception that if I'm acting as the general, then I don't have to pay that fee. But they will pay. You get what you pay for, and you pay for what you get.
Yeah, and they don't understand a lot of times. This, you're getting better pricing with your subs.
Mm-hmm. That's true,
than
Tad.
they're ever going to get. So it's kind of a wash, and then they got someone to manage.
And being an owner-builder, the subs, they would probably much rather go back and work for the GC where they know those projects are coming in one after another. And an owner-builder, they could get kicked to the curb.
They're going to leapfrog them.
Yes.
I mean, if you got a bunch of jobs going, and then they get one owner-builder, your job's fill work.
Yeah. So,
Agreed.
all those in favor of not being an owner-builder, raise your hand. Aye.
It's unanimous.
Perfect. That was a great agenda item discussion.
You know, and it does help me on my side too. Like when a contractor does step in, like you said, after conceptuals, like they're going to speak a lot more term-wise to what changes we need to make and what we're actually looking for than, you know, it's just easier to work with someone in the same kind of realm at a certain point throughout the design.
Sense.
Well, and as the old saying goes, been there, done that.
Right.
Chances are the issues that arise, a GC has confronted before, whereas the owner-builder has no idea.
Right.
Generally.
And they're always going to call me back and be like, what do we do here? And I'm like, I don't know.
Or they call me. What do we do here? I don't know.
You know, and the scary thing is I've carried my general contractor's license for 8 years. There's certain lots that I've designed that I would not feel comfortable.
Ooh.
You know, like I would.
Being an owner-builder.
Yeah, I would definitely want someone to step in that's familiar with that, you know, either that community or that terrain or, you know, kind of specializes in certain
No,
stuff.
that's a good point, Tad. Very good point. So I think it's very cool that you were in our new building, Yavapai Magazine, as a visionary. We had Steve Simpson was a visionary, Celia Vandermolen that we had on our show, Mike, when you were out of town or didn't show up or who knows where.
Missing in action.
Missing in action. We have Tad. We have Rick Kimry. He's a YCCA board member and an architect. Bill Otwell is one of our visionaries. Whitney Windecker, she's a visionary. Trin House Designs. We had Trinity Shelton. She was with us with Cecilia, and we discussed hers. You know Cecilia and Trinity, don't you,
Yeah.
Tad? Wonderful women. Colin Lovedahl was one of our visionaries, and Courtney Michael, an interior designer. So great things. And then Miss M.E. Morales is an architect, and she was one of our visionaries.
I thought designers are pretty reclusive by nature. I think, like, it was kind of interesting having everyone in the same building. Like, I would never see these people out on the streets.
It was pretty exciting,
it was.
wasn't it? I don't think anybody kind of knew that you were all going to be collectively together. It's like, whoa, do I say hi to this? But what do I do?
Yeah, what do we do?
You were amazing. You did a great job.
You called me dramatic.
You were dramatic.
So you had them all in at the same time?
Yes. It was a very emotional 1.5 hours.
And then we were late getting in, too.
I know.
So we all just sat in the hallway.
We sat and kind of stared at each other. No. Yeah, Tad was very dramatic. Okay, so do you have a favorite mentor or role model that caused you to take out your colored pencils and crayons and start drawing?
You know, I think it goes back to, like, working on jobs and then seeing plans and just being like, this is pretty neat that someone's at the forefront. Like, and it's so cool seeing you're the first one to start the project, and like, I always love seeing the end of it.
Okay,
Like, it's just-
most people say that.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
you just kind of, it gets built to life. Mentor-wise, not, I mean, yeah, I do. Like, there's people I look up to in the community. I wouldn't say, like, I very much watch people. You know, I like to learn off of what people are doing correct and what they're doing wrong.
Okay,
So,
good.
I did go to work for an architect in town here. I didn't last very long.
Because why? You were dramatic.
No. Well, and I talked with them about this, and they agreed, and they kind of, we all saw it coming. I'd already had my design company for 1.5 years at that point, and I was like, I'm going to go get my stamp. And then it came out like 5 years, 4.5 years that I'd have to work there as an internship. And then it's like, I got 5 kids to feed. So we kind of were just like, you already have a company going.
You better get out of bed and get to work. Okay?
And you guys know it's hard to work for someone else after you've been running your own companies for the past 10 years. Like,
So we have to take a break. Tad Bryant, owner of Broken Arrow Drafting and Design, my wingman Mike Enders, Bent Tree Custom Homes. When we come back, we're going to ask Tad what it's like to work with 5 kids.
That could fill up a whole hour in itself.
I know. We need to figure that one out. Listeners, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Hammer Time, waking up with the YCCA, a presentation of the Yavapai County Contractors Association. Once again, here's your host, Sandy Griffiths.
Hey, everybody. What a great Hammer Time program this morning with Mr. Tad Bryant, owner of Broken Arrow Drafting and Design. We don't want to be a microwave. What was it?
Microwave Society.
We don't want to be a microwave society.
Great
It takes time to get processes moving and things, so don't even think about pushing that 2-minute quick button because it's not going to happen.
That can happen.
Okay, Tad, you have 5 children.
Yeah.
And do you know all their names?
Yeah. Barely. I do sometimes. I'm like going over their ages, counting fingers. So
Okay, so what's the oldest and the youngest?
Danny, Blaine, Tripp, Boone, Hayes.
Is that 5?
Yeah, that's
okay.
5. Sorry.
Ages, oldest?
10, 9, 7, 5, 2.
Gotcha.
Okay, whoa.
It's wild.
It is very wild.
So
Do they come into Dad's studio and come in crashing and want to get in your lap and play on your computer?
all the time. Yeah, they do all the time. And honestly, Dana, she definitely is the one that holds that place together because I just kind of work and hang out with them, but she's the one that I couldn't do 5 without her. So
Okay, do you all sit down for dinner together at the
Yeah.
Way to go. Good
Every
for you.
night.
Every night.
Every
Amazing. Perfect.
So right now we got, like this week, we'll have 4 Little League practices this week and games and then homework and dinner.
My hat's off to you. Just having had 2 and going through that with them, I can't imagine 5.
I know.
That's wild. So, yeah, and I don't know. I just, they say you spend like 80% of your time with your kids before the age of 12, so you just kind of soak it in while you can and realize
exactly.
they're going to
Good
be
for
your friends
you.
soon.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
Good for you.
perfect. But you do know all their names and their ages. That was pretty impressive.
But the one thing you talked about was practices coming up and whatnot, sports, and I think that's, to me, personal opinion, but I think that's very, very. I encourage that with younger parents. I think having their kids involved in sports and being involved with them in that sport, you never get a second chance to do that.
no, it's huge.
Yep.
It's huge.
So, Mike, what sports were you involved in with your kiddos?
Well, the first thing was t-ball.
Okay.
And then in the off season, soccer, which that was a new vernacular. What the heck is soccer? Because that was just coming on. That was in the early 80s. And so there weren't a lot of intramurals at that time, at least where we lived. So that was quite interesting. And of course, the first thing they said is, gosh, we need some soccer parents to coach. Who's available? And we all start looking at each other like, God, don't pick me. Please don't pick me.
I don't know how to coach soccer.
So, but it's a learning experience. But just spending time with your kids and their friends, you never get a second chance to do that.
No.
Okay, so Tad, you're involved in what sports with your 5 kiddos?
Right.
Well, really 4 because the 2-year-old isn't sports yet.
Well, and Danny, the oldest, she's kind of hit and miss. She's with her mom most of the time.
Okay.
So, but the baseball, and then they go to jiu-jitsu 3 days a week.
Okay, oh my
So they're
God.
doing that. I can't really teach that. I'm not, but
Perfect.
and then we'll get going. Like Blaine, she'll start going into Gymkhana, the barrel racing.
Okay, with horses.
yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So
So do you think that AI will ever replace you?
I think about that a lot. I don't, to a certain aspect. I think it will. We're already messing with different programs to where, like, I'm almost doing instant renderings of floor plans.
Wow.
So it's given us a leg up to where, like, stuff that used to take us weeks, we definitely can have more time to fine tune it. Like that microwave society thing, we can at least give the client a product where they can visualize. I don't know that you'll ever be able to take out, like, the human aspect of design. I don't know that a computer will ever make a house a home.
I would agree. I would agree.
So That's one thing we got.
Because an AI program, it's hard to indoctrinate emotions into AI. You can indoctrinate what we talked about earlier, the functionality. But if somebody wants something that's not functional, I don't know is AI going to be able to actually address that.
Well, it's a good point. I wonder.
I don't think so. I just don't think so. I mean,
We'd have to say AI, redraw that. It's not functional.
Yeah. And even now, it still makes mistakes. Like you'll notice like a fruit bowl on the ceiling and stuff. Which, I mean, technology, they might, it might go completely different, but still, the amount of people that are going to want to deal with that, I think, is still a whole nother reason.
I can see aspects like you talked about with elevations. I can see, for example, roof designs, being able to feed in the floor plan design and then have a system that comes back with variables on hips and gables and whatnot. I can see where that functionality might work.
Kind of make it flow and kind of do all that. But where we have done a lot too with AI is red lines. So we kind of, and I'm like, these are the people I hired. If it's not AutoCAD or Revit, I'm probably not your guy. But when it comes to AI, the people in my office, Lydia, she has created this whole system to get it to learn red lines per municipality. So we're trying to head them off, and like we kind of started that when the codes got updated, just to really limit. Now, there still is. I mean, the people at the county, like everybody gives them a hard time. They do a great job, and they have a hard job. Do I think that we could speed up some things? Yeah, but I'm not in the office. But at the same time, I think the AI would benefit them also with plan review. I'm not saying fire everyone, but I'm saying definitely, like, those computers are smart. When you see it plugs in the PV9s, the 13s, it takes everything and just kind of compiles all my red lines. So.
Does it fix your red lines?
No, we'll go in and fix them, but it'll just tell me, we need to add this. Do we need gutter details?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it won't fix it.
So then do you say thank you, AI, or do you buy a box of chocolates, or what do you do?
I always say thank you just in case it comes along in the future. Terminator.
You said AI flowers? Yeah, thank you, AI.
So you can give it to commands, though, like eliminate the skyhook to accommodate this truss design.
I don't know if it's gotten there yet. But I can take the plans and say, can you redline this per Yavapai County?
Wow.
And
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's still a lot of air room in there. And like I said, the county, because they are people too.
Right.
Sure.
Different plans examiners want different things at times. So you got to factor that also.
Right.
So that leads me to another question. How have you educated yourself? It's probably easy now because all of our jurisdictions, with the exception of the town, we're all on the 2024 code. Mm-hmm. But there was a time when we weren't. So is your office full of code books? Are you all computerized? Do you have to flip through pages and pages?
No. So we have a subscription to the International Building Code, so we can just go in there and type it in, see what the codes are, and kind of go through them to make sure everything's good to go. It was a change there, but it wasn't as drastic as I thought.
No, it was good.
So I was like, oh no, new codes. But I feel like the municipalities did a good job kind of preparing us for it. And they were kind of starting to implement stuff that they could ahead of time. That I was like, oh, I didn't see that last month. But now they're going to want it. So let's make sure we have these in plans. So.
Perfect. So listeners, I think we have to take a break. When we come back, we will continue our conversation with Mr. Tad Bryant, owner of Broken Arrow Drafting and Design.
You're listening to Hammer Time, waking up with the YCCA, a presentation of the Yavapai County Contractors Association. Once again, here's your host, Sandy Griffiths.
Everybody, good morning, and thank you again for tuning in to Hammer Time, brought to you by YCCA. Our guest with us this morning is none other than Tad Bryant, owner of Broken Arrow Drafting and Design. Okay, so Tad, here's a big question for you.
Drum roll.
Really big. This is not a microwave society question. what advice would you give to aspiring designers or architects that want to be an aspiring designer, landscape architect, draftsman, draftwoman? What is your advice?
I think probably, you got to accept failure at times and keep working through it. And you need to learn from people. I would spend hours just looking at other people's plans because I didn't have the formal backing. So I would just study other people that I knew were successful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and just
good
look
point.
at their plans. How are they drawing this? Where are we getting this footing detail? Why is this footing different than the last house I looked at? And then it's if you want to really jump down rabbit holes, you can go on the county's deal and pull permits of people's, their soils and their geo reports. There's just a lot to learn by watching other people. But
that's a very good answer.
Mm-hmm.
A very good answer. But you also hit on something that I'm a firm believer in, and that is successes are very important, and that creates the fire that continues to burn in the belly, as they say. But failures are also just as important because they're learning experiences. Don't let it destroy you. Learn from it and take that as a positive.
I think I learned more off of failure. And as long as it's not a failure that's detrimental to what you're trying to do, I feel 100% of the time you gain from it.
Okay, so what would a failure be? What's a failure that you've learned from?
Well, failure, a lot of it, it's so ranging. Failure from either having a client not mad and having to make the job right with them. Like we were speaking to, there's times where I've had to redraw plans completely because there was something on my end. I had a client one time that I should have done more due diligence as far as their parcel and setbacks, and I didn't factor in that they had a cul-de-sac that they weren't calling a corner, and the house that I drew did not fit.
Okay, good point.
So they wanted a house that square footage, and I was like, I can't fit that. We already had a walkout with it. There was just no way to do it. So I just gave them their money back and said, I wish I could help you more, but there's really nothing I can do with this parcel with the house you want.
Yeah, there's constraints.
Yeah, and just you learn, and that's a mistake I always look at. So if I get a new client, first thing I do is I look at the sites and the setbacks. And what can we fit here? And then, you got to look, now we're pretty familiar with all the HOA stuff. Mm-hmm. But that was a big thing at first too, is if you're building something, in Talking Rock or the ranch, you really need to read through their HOA stuff because you might just be spinning your wheels.
Yep.
If you can't design what their requirements are.
What's the point? It's just expensive paper at that point.
Right. Good point.
Yeah, and if you go ahead and design it and it's not going to be passed through the ARC committee of that respective subdivision or community, then you've really wasted not only your time but the client's time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the client might not like hearing, gee, I can't have that, let's say, an RV garage.
Right.
But if they don't allow an RV garage, get it up front instead of designing the house with it and then saying, oops, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Good point, you guys.
And I do think that, you also get kind of watchy, too, because, Prescott's, it's growing, but it's still a small town. So you have to treat people right. People that don't treat people right don't last long in this town still.
Good point.
And, we need to treat people right wherever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So use your turn signal, don't speed, eat your leafy greens, smile at everybody, let people out of parking places. What else? Let people cross over into the other lane.
I'm staying out of all the driving disputes in this town.
Don't speed. Drive in the slow lane unless you want to pass.
Sandy wanted me to disconnect my horn.
Yeah, don't honk. Yes. Yes, don't honk. Oh, my gosh. So, listeners, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will wrap up our show. So, Mike, it's your turn to take us a break.
It's my pleasure. We're having a great conversation with Tad, and he's certainly blossomed from where he was the very first time we had him in here.
Tad has blossomed.
He has. He's grown a bunch, so we appreciate that. Very, very happy to see the success. So stay with us. We've got some last-minute information for you when we come back. Don't turn that dial, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Hammer Time, waking up with the YCCA, a presentation of the Yavapai County Contractors Association. Once again, here's your host, Sandy Griffiths.
Tad, what a real pleasure having you with Mike and me and our listeners this morning. You are quite an inspiration, my friend.
I agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yes.
Well, thank you, guys.
So how can our listeners reach you?
Online or by phone.
And what is that online and by phone? Come on.
The website is
AI. What is Tad's phone number?
Call Tad.
Call Tad.
The website's www.brokenarrowaz.net, and phone number is 928-899-8025.
Okay, so say everything one more time.
928-899-8025 and brokenarrowaz.net.
Perfect. So keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing. And for our members and our listening audience, Tad is a member of YCCA. Let's talk about your metal building gig that you've got going on before the show ends.
So we kind of like the whole owner build thing. People go online and buy these buildings from these national companies.
And they're not even certified or engineered.
I get them all the time. It's like, they're not site specific. We still need electrical plans. We still need site plans.
We need a pad. We need concrete.
Your engineering's not correct. It still has to go to a structural engineer. So we just kind of like, if I can get my clients buildings at cost when they're doing these steel buildings, it makes my life so much easier having an actual building that's up to code.
And that's what you're doing now.
Yep. So we started Elevated Structures that specializes in steel buildings. So anything's garage, carports, barn dominiums, warehouses.
And we've got great people here that are steel erectors so they can install the building.
Yep. So,
the other thing,
and we can handle the design and permitting.
So the other thing we find out with these metal buildings when they order them online from who knows where, the company says, oh, yeah, we can install it for you. Tad, Mike, they're not even licensed in the state of Arizona.
No, they got a big portal.
Yeah.
And they kind of like, those hot shot guys that go like travel.
That's what they do.
And go pick up stuff. These guys are national, and they just put bids out, and then they go and
they're not licensed. So listeners, thank you for tuning into Hammer Time with Tad, Mike, me, and the engineer this morning. Great show. Appreciate all of you. If you need YCCA, 928-778-0040. Don't forget to go to Spotify and YouTube and listen to our past shows. So until next weekend, bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend. Wear your seatbelt and don't speed.
And don't honk.
And drink your lemonade.
Good job.
Thank you for tuning in to Hammer Time, waking up with the YCCA, a presentation of the Yavapai County Contractors Association. Heard each and every Saturday morning at 7, with an encore presentation Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 1130 by 99.9 FM in Prescott, 95.5 FM, Prescott Valley and Cottonwood, and online at kqna.com. A library of past Hammer Time shows can be listened to on the Yavapai County Contractors website at ycca.org.
Break it down.
Airtime for this program is paid for by the Yavapai County Contractors Association, and they are solely responsible for its content.